Okay, student, listen. Next topic we are going to see irrigation. Irrigation in Tamil, near possible. What is the meaning of the irrigation? Watering of agriculture plants, like any plants, through the artificial mean is called as irrigation. Every houses, we are keeping one garden. So how to it water to the plants mean artificial man through the pipe or any other ways. We are watering to the plant. This is called as irrigation. In our country, you know that very unbalanced country. I mean, India is a very eh, irregular rainfall countries and as a seasonal hot countries. So that irrigation is essential for our cultivation. You know that Indian rainfall is not same in every year. Then high temperature, cultivation of annual crops and hydro bites and commercial farming and soil. You know that it's very different in our country. Due to the reason, the irrigation is very important for our Indian agriculture. Next topic we are going to see types of the or sources of the irrigation. What are the sources? That mean in India, different sources of irrigation we are using in our country due to the soil condition, rainfall, availability of the surface of groundwater, nature of the region, and requirement of crops. For the reason, we are using variety of irrigation pattern in our country. Because the Indian climate, you know, the Indian soil, you know, that some part is very plateau region, some of the regions are plains, some of them mountain region. So it's not suitable for even same type of the irrigation. So as per the climatic and environmental differ, we are using the different types of the irrigation patterns. So what are the main irrigation we are following in our country? First one, canal irrigation. Second one, well irrigation. Third one, tank irrigation. Canal irrigation in Tamil, Kalvai Neerpasanam. Well irrigation, you know that in our area, you know that well. Next one, tank irrigation means we are storing the water in our water bodies like pond and lake and storage in some other dam and then watering to the plant. It is called as the tank irrigation. Now, one by one I explain sources of the irrigation. First one, canal irrigation. It is the second most important source of irrigation in our country. That is very, very important. Sometimes they will ask the question, which is the most second place irrigation in our country? Mean canal irrigation. How many percentage of canal irrigation in our country using during the academic years 2013 and 14? Nearly 24% we are using canal irrigation. The next one, the canals are effective source of irrigation in our low level relief, deep fertile soil and perennial source of water and extensive common area. So what are the area? The canal irrigation possible mean fertile soil area, valamana man ulla pagudi. Then perennial sources of the water. Then low level relief area. So in this area only we are following or we are using canal types of irrigation. Canal types of irrigation. The canals are two types. Canals are two types. One is that unintentional canals. What do you mean by unintentional canal? Mean in this type, the water is taken out directly from the rivers without making any kind of barrage or dam. That is the meaning of unintentional canal. During the rainy time, the water is not stopped by any dam or barrage. Directly the water taken from the river and to the plants or paddy field or any other agriculture field we are giving the water mean unintentional canal. That means without stop the water in middle of the river. Directly we will take the water from the river. That is called as unintentional canal. And which time it is possible means such canals are useful for diversion of flood water from the rivers and remain operational during the rainy season. So during the rainy season only this type of the canals is possible for the farmer. During the rainy time only, the farmer using, because that time only the water is floating on the river. During the time, the farmer taken the water directly from the river. So this is the meaning of the unintentional canal. Next, another type of the canals, perennial canals. Perennial mean vatrada. Perennial canals. These are developed from perennial river by constructing barrage. Barrage means dam to regulate the flow of the water. That is the perennial canal. Once the rainy season, stop the water with the help of the barrage or dam, and regularly we are giving the water to the lands. That is called as perennial canals. In our country, most of the canals fall under this category. That is very, very important. These canals are useful for irrigation. So irrigation meaning I said, the next sources of the irrigation. Source of irrigation means three type of the sources. One is the canal irrigation. Canals are, they are further classified as intentional canal, perennial canal. So student, what do you understand from this topic? What do you mean by irrigation? Irrigation means what? The waters to the plant without any barrage and stuff, anything. Artificially we are giving to the water is called irrigation. Irrigation sources I said there. Next, another sources of the irrigations. So what are the area? Before go to the next topic, what are the area? The canal irrigation is are following. In India, total area under the canal irrigation about 15.8 million hectares. In 2004, they are following the canal irrigation. About 60% of canal irrigation area fall in this northern plains of India. What are the areas it is following? Mean northern plains area. Because the plains need a more water. They are cultivate many crops there only. So that it need a which water? The canal water is required. You know, in our country, what are the area they are following the canal waters? They are using mean Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and Bihar. In South India, what are the Indian states are using the canal water? Mean Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Tamil Nadu. So those states are using the canal irrigation. So next, another important irrigation method, well irrigation. You know the well means, do you know, from the long days and the people are mostly using well only. From the well only they are taking water for domestic purpose and plant and agriculture purpose also they are using. They are water taking from the where hole or trough. Usually these are vertical shape excreted from the water from the ground, so that it is called as well irrigation. The well irrigation most important source of irrigation, as it contribute 62% of irrigate in our country. In our country, well irrigation, how many percentage they are using? 62%. It is cheap method, a dependable method and a popular source of irrigation in our country, because from the olden days on when the people are using, why the king, during the king period also they are using well irrigation method only for domestic purpose and other purpose. So well irrigation unavoidable in our region, because it's a low rainfall area, it is most suitable and the essential one. Well are also two types. How the canals are two types, similarly well also two types, open well, tube wells. What is that? Open well and tube well. Now we are going to see open well. Open well means this type of the irrigation is widely practiced in the area where the groundwater is sufficiently available. Where is the groundwater available in more, we are using open well method. That is very, very important. If the insufficient water means we are not using this method. If the water is available more in our earth surface, that means sufficient water available in particular area, mean we are using open well method. So this is called as a open well. Next, listen. The area, what are the areas open well we are using? Mean Ganga plains and delta regions, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Narmada and the Dabdi Valley. In this regions only we are using open well method.